Ever had that nagging feeling that your pet goldfish is having more thrilling adventures than you? You know, bubbling around, discovering new corners of its little fishbowl world while you're stuck in the same old routine? Quite a fishy predicament, isn't it? Well, if this sounds familiar, we might have something for you. Today we're exploring the 10 signs that suggest you might be in need of a change. If you nodded yes more fervently than a bobblehead, then let's dive into the signs, shall we? Sign numero uno. You're envious of your pet goldfish's life. Yes, you heard that right. You've reached a point where the tranquil, predictable life of your aquatic friend seems more appealing than the monotony of your own. You're mesmerized by its carefree swim around the bowl, and you've started secretly yearning for that life. You're caught in the grind, and your routine feels as exciting as watching paint dry. You see, your goldfish, with its 3-second memory, has the luxury of forgetting its boredom, but alas, you're human. You remember, you're stuck in a rut and you know it. The everyday routine, the same old tasks, the same old places, they've become a dull, repeating echo in your life. It's as if you're living in a loop, a never-ending cycle of déjà vu. So if you've started considering a career in fish ballet, it's time for a change, mate. Sign number 2, you've developed an intimate relationship with your snooze button. It's a bond that's grown stronger over time, a bond that's become as essential as your morning coffee. Every morning you find yourself locked in a dance with your alarm clock, a dance that repeatedly ends with you hitting the snooze button. The sweet sound of silence following each press is like music to your ears, a symphony that lulls you back to sleep. But what does this really signify? It's not just a love for sleep, no, it's a dread of facing the day, a reluctance to leave the comfort of your bed and confront the world. The snooze button has become your shield, your fortress against the onslaught of the day's tasks. But here's the thing, the world won't stop spinning because you hit the snooze button. When your snooze button has more fingerprints than Scotland Yard, you know something's up. On to signs 3 and 4. You walk around like a zombie and stare at the calendar more than your crush's photos. Now, I'm not suggesting you've joined the undead, but if you're dragging yourself through the day with as much energy as a sloth on a slow day, it might be a sign that change is needed. There's a difference between being tired and feeling perpetually drained. Tiredness can be fixed with a good night's sleep, but feeling drained is like being a smartphone with a dodgy battery. No matter how much you charge, you're always on the brink of powering down. If you're constantly running on empty, perhaps it's not just physical rest that you need. It could be that you're emotionally or mentally exhausted, and you might need to change something in your life to recharge your inner battery. Now let's talk about the calendar stare. Remember when we used to count down the days to our birthday or Christmas? As adults, we often replace those with countdowns to the weekend or the next public holiday. There's nothing wrong with looking forward to a break, but if you're constantly wishing for the week to end, it might be a sign that you're not content with your weekdays. We spend a significant portion of our lives working, and it's important to find joy and satisfaction in what we do. If your weekdays feel like a chore, and the highlight of your week is the moment you clock out on a Friday afternoon, then it's time to reassess. Life is too short to be spent waiting for weekends or holidays. It's not about enduring the weekdays to enjoy the weekends, but rather about finding joy and satisfaction every day. If you're counting down to the weekend like it's the next Star Wars movie, it's time to hit the refresh button. Signs 5 and 6. You've turned into a green-eyed monster and you're composing a symphony of sighs. Now, we've all been there, scrolling through social media, seeing someone's perfect life, and suddenly we're green with envy. But if you find yourself constantly comparing your life to others, if you've started to look more like the Incredible Hulk than your usual charming self, well, that's sign number 5 that you might be in dire need of a change. It's natural to want what others have, but remember, comparison is the thief of joy. And let's be honest, no one looks good in green. Moving on to sign number 6, the sigh symphony. If you're spending more time sighing than speaking, if your colleagues are starting to understand sigh language more than your actual words, then this is a clear sign you're expressing dissatisfaction with your current situation. You've become a maestro of melancholy, a conductor of discontent, and your sighs are the tragic overture of your daily life. Now, don't get me wrong, a well-timed, dramatic sigh can be a work of art. It can express 1,000 words and even more emotions. But if you're sighing more than you're smiling, if your sighs are becoming the soundtrack to your life, it's time to change the tune. Remember, life isn't meant to be a constant struggle, a never-ending sigh symphony. It's meant to be a dance, a song, a joyous melody. So if you're turning green with envy and your sighs are echoing louder than your laughter, it might be time to take a step back, reassess, and make a change. Because at the end of the day, the only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. And the only symphony you should be composing is one of contentment and joy. If your sighs are becoming a new language, it's time to pack your bags for a change. Signs 7 and 8. You're living a Groundhog Day, and you've got an insatiable craving for adventure. Now, who wouldn't want to relive a day of joy, love, or triumph? But if you're feeling like you're stuck in a time loop, living the same day over and over again, not the joyful kind, mind you, but the mundane, repetitive kind, then, my dear friend, you're in a Groundhog Day scenario. You wake up, brush your teeth, go to work, come back home, sleep, and repeat. If your life feels like it's on a replay mode, it's a sign that you need a change. And what is life without a dash of adventure, eh? Now, I'm not saying you've got to jump off a plane or swim with the sharks, although if that's your thing, go for it. But if you find yourself daydreaming about exploring new places, trying out new cuisines, meeting new people, basically anything that breaks the monotony, then you've got an adventure craving that needs to be satiated. This longing for new experiences is your soul's way of telling you that it's time for a change, time to step out of your comfort zone and explore the unexplored. Life, after all, is too short to be spent in a cubicle, isn't it? And let's be honest here, nobody wants to be stuck in a rut. We all crave variety, excitement, and new experiences, so if your life feels like a never-ending loop of sameness and your heart yearns for something different, something exciting, then it's time to listen to that inner voice. So are you ready to break free from the Groundhog Day? Are you ready to quench your thirst for adventure? If the answer is a resounding yes, then my dear friend, it's time to shake things up. If you're ready to trade your car for a magic carpet, then you need to shake things up a bit. Last but not least, signs 9 and 10. You're puzzled about your passions and you're grumbling about growth. Let's delve into this a little further, shall we? Sign 9, the passion puzzle, is all about feeling muddled when it comes to what you truly love. You might have once been passionate about something, but now you're as confused as a chameleon in a bag of Skittles. Then we have sign 10, the growth grumble. This is the constant feeling of being stuck, like a hamster on a wheel, running and running, but not getting anywhere. You're not growing, not learning, not evolving. Both of these signs, my friends, are clear indicators that you need a change. They're like that annoying alarm clock that won't stop buzzing until you finally wake up. If you're more lost than a left sock, it's time for a change. Well, there you have it, folks. The 10 signs you're ready for a change. From goldfish envy to the snooze button love affair, the zombie walk to the sigh symphony, we've covered them all. If these signs resonate, it's high time to embrace change. So go on, take the leap. If you recognized yourself in any of these signs, do us a favor. Hit that like button harder than you hit your snooze button and subscribe for more life-changing content. And remember, change is the only constant, except for my humor, of course.